log in to KofiPaisaTV.com and get Spears of the Mossi Volume 1 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, from Spears the Pen Volume 2 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, Spiritual Combat Volume 3 by Kofi Paisa Research Team, One Night Before Bed by Any Harek Shun Calfunny, Kalawa's Trip to the Motherland by Kofi Paisa, From Cocaine to Consciousness by Any Harek Shun Calfunny, As I Learn, We All Learn by Kofi Paisa. Also, if you want fresh merch, go to our online store, Family Connect Apparel, and get all the brands. Also, get our 54 deck of quiz and educational cards available now on KofiPaisaTV.com.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the books is in. The books are in. Yep. They in. They're here. ETM Hotel, Rennie Sean, welcome in peace. My name is Sean. Thank everybody for tuning in. Want to get into something real quick, like the show, share the show, tell a friend, and let's see what's going on. Yeah. Yep, you see it on the screen. Studying the evolution of SARS-CoV-2 in one patient over 324 days. You probably heard me mention this before, which is a similar case to another patient who actually had HIV. But we talked about how many times in that patient, how many times the virus mutated in that person, and then it by the time it probably left the body, or not really leave the body, but how many different, what I want to say, variants or whatever would have emerged in this woman's body was tremendous. But I think I'm saying what I want to say wrong, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Where everybody at, man? Like the show, share the show. Who all got the book? Who all got what SARS-CoV-2 taught me? How many people in the chat got to put a one in the chat if you got the book? Put a one in the chat if you got your book, What SARS-CoV-2 Taught Me. Everybody who got the book, drop a one in the chat. If you don't have a book, drop a two. One if you do, two if you don't. Don't go mute now. What up, Teddy? What up, Ant? What up, Chavy? What up, Rob? What up, Tika? What up, Benita? What up, New? What the business is? Like the show, share the show, tell a friend, tell a friend. What up, Rock City? Before we get going, man, if you got the book, put a one in the chat. If you ain't got the book, put a two. That's all you got to do. One if you do, two if you don't. Like the show, share the show. Put a 1 in the chat if you got the book, 2 if you don't. So I might say something that's actually in the book, and I don't want to say what I want to say. It's in the book. People ain't got it yet. Like the show, share the show, tell a friend, we live. We finna get it in. So I'm not gonna take up what up, Jeremy? Nah. It's not a spot thing, you feel me? I'm just asking, you know what I mean? Because if I reference something in the book, or I send you to a page in the book, then you could actually you see what I'm saying? You could actually do that. But if I open the panel up for people that want to come in and give their opinions, or they express their opinion about the book, you know what I mean? Then I want to kind of get people feedback, like real time feedback. So people with the book, once we go through what we need to go through dealing with this case study with this patient that, you know what I'm saying, experienced this situation, I do want to try to get everybody who put a 1 in the chat on a panel to at least exercise their opinion about the book so far, if they've read it. If they read it, even if you just kind of flip through it or whatever, just a summarized detail of your vantage point. If you got the book, post it on social media, tag me. Some people got the book and still ain't done it. I'm looking at one person in particular that said they got the book and that they were gonna tag me. I ain't got the tag yet. Hear dogs holler. A weekend task. To post the image of the book. Wow. Oh, my bad, y'all. Okay, that's no problem. Just whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever you actually read is no big deal. Whatever you read so far, you could give your opinion on the book. I mean, you kind of had a book in your hand and flip through it and things of that nature. Hold on, Tyson just came in the building. What's up, Tyson? What you want? Sit. You finna lay down? Stop. What is you sniffling for? Ain't nothing. Oh, your nose running? You want some tissue? All right, so let's go ahead and get into the bill, man. Like the show, share the show, tell a friend. People come in, man, they just have to catch the replay. And peace to everybody for tuning in to Science with Sean. This episode on the Mossi Warrior Clan YouTube channel. We're gonna go ahead and get into our bill today. We're gonna talk about a study that was actually published in MedX, but we're gonna look at the basic. We're gonna look at the basic article that was also republished in Lab Roots, and then we're gonna walk through Lab Root source. So we're gonna take our time to review this particular article and get a layman's version, and then we'll do a little in depth, and then we're gonna follow up with everybody in the chat who actually has purchased what SARS-CoV-2 taught me. And if you are just now joining us and you have purchased what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, put a 1 in the chat. If you have not purchased what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, put a 2 in the chat. It's all good. If you are attempting to purchase what SARS-CoV-2 taught me right now, the link is in the description and in the video right now. If you look in the chat, send that too. All right. Okay, so published today, studying the evolution of SARS-CoV-2 in one patient over 324 days. All right, so this is what I'll be talking about I know my English is very improper, but this is what I'm usually talking about when people get infected and then they don't know how long it take them to clear the virus. They think quarantining is just quarantining, but you can quarantine and the virus still be prevalent. Dude, why is you up under me now? You can clear the virus. Well, you can quarantine and still, you know what I mean? The virus still can be transmissible. Cause some people, depending on who you are, can virus shed for 21 days, 3 weeks. Immunocompromised can do that. But anyway, to clear viral infection, the human body has to mount an effective immune response. So we're going to go over here and look at a case of an overview of the immune response. This article was published in NCBI, my bad, Library of Medicine or National Institute of Health, so still NIH related. But this is an overview of an immune response, okay? Now, we're not going to read the entire article, as you can see, okay? But there are some highlighted areas here that we want to talk about. As you can see, when we talk about the immune system, we're also dealing with, self and non-self, but this is discrimination of self from non-self, general features of innate and adaptive immunity, and cellular elements of the immune response. And then it goes on to give us some chart lines, right? So all the nice little things that we can actually deal with to understand what the article is saying from a scientific term, but also a little deeper dive. And I don't want to go too deep so I can lose people. I want to keep it as lay as possible and as short as possible. So what I want to do is just give you a general overview of what it is. So we'll read the abstract. All right. Now the immune system hold up. There you go. So the immune system has evolved to protect the host from a universe of pathogenic microbes that are themselves constantly evolving. The immune system also helps the host element toxic or allergic substances that enter through mucosal surfaces. Central to the immune system's ability to mobilize a response to an invading pathogen, toxin, or allergen is its ability to distinguish self from non-self. For someone who talks about my immune system works and you don't know how your immune system actually functions, or you don't know what you're actually dealing with, if it's innate or adaptive, etc. Which one deals with self and which one deals with non-self? Now, the host uses both innate and adaptive mechanisms to detect and eliminate pathogenic microbes. Both of these mechanisms include self-non-self discrimination. This overview identifies key mechanisms used by immune system to respond to invading microbes and other exogenous threats, and identifies settings in which disturbed immune function exuberates tissue injury. All right, so this entire article is dealing with what? An overview of the immune response. It is key that we understand how things transpire, but what helps us distinguish self from non-self. But if you want to get a little bit more in depth with the immune system, chapter 2, page 27, chapter 2, understanding the immune system can help you out with that. Okay? Chapter 2 in the book can help give you some straightening. All right? Cool. Now, going on. After detecting the pathogen, immune cells may go through a series of steps in which B cells can eventually be stimulated, giving rise to the production of antibodies that work against the invader. Those antibodies can usually eliminate the virus, but virus parts of the process go awry for different reasons. For example, some people receive therapeutics that deplete their B cells, making it very difficult for them to clear infection. I'm going to run that back again because this is what natural infectious people do not know. For example, some people receive therapeutics. You can receive certain therapeutics thinking that you're treating your symptoms, and you turn around and deplete your B cells, making it very difficult for you to clear infection. Researchers have been able to learn more about the evolution of the virus that causes COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, by studying a patient who became infected earlier in the pandemic. That individual was a cancer survivor who had received CAR T-cell therapy in the past, and a major loss of functional B cells is a known side effect of that treatment. So let's go and deal with the NIH article on CAR T cells, engineering patients' immune cells to treat their cancers. For years, the foundations of a cancer treatment were surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. Over the last 2 decades, targeted therapies like imatinib, or Gleevec, and Herceptin, drugs that target cancer cells by homing in on specific molecular changes seen primarily in those cells, have also cemented themselves as standard treatments for many cancers. But over the past several years, immunotherapy therapies that enlist and strengthen the power of patients' immune systems to attack tumors has emerged as what many in cancer community now call the fifth pillar or cancer treatment. Like I said, I'm not going to go too far in depth with this particular article. Just know that we got it on deck. Now, the CAR T cells are equivalent of giving patient a living drug. Okay, explained Dr. Bretchens, PhD of Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York. And as its name implies, the backbone of CAR T cell therapy is T cells, which are often called the workhorses of the immune system because of their critical role in orchestrating the immune response and killing cells infected by pathogens. The therapy requires drawing blood from patients and separating out the T cells. Next, using a disarmed virus, the T cells are genetically engineered to produce receptors on their surface called chimeric antigen receptors, or CARs. These receptors are synthetic molecules. They don't exist naturally, says Dr. June, Pennsylvania Abrasive Cancer Center. During a recent presentation on CAR T cells at the National Institute of Health, Dr. June has led a series of CAR T cell clinical trials, largely in patients with leukemia. So let's do this live so we can understand what we're dealing with this patient that had COVID for 324 days. CAR T cell. Let's see if we can find like a little 2-minute video on CAR T cell explanation. Boom, here we go. And let's get this animation and see how it works.
If it's working properly, the immune system wants to kill cancer cells. That's its job. Create an army of T cells to patrol our body for signs of infection and other diseases. The T cells inspect suspicious cells and, when they find an abnormal one, immediately lead an attack on it while limiting the damage to healthy cells. The way they do that is pretty elegant. T cells have protein receptors on their surface, and these claw-like structures latch onto antigens, protein fragments found on the surface of all cells. When a receptor latches onto an abnormal antigen, like one found only on a diseased cell, the T cell turns on and releases toxic chemicals that damage the abnormal cell and recruit other immune helpers to the area. Sometimes cancer cells develop ways to fool the immune system, either by disguising themselves as healthy cells or by sprouting so many antigens on their surface that the T cells are stymied and can't mount an effective attack, or by finding ways to turn off the immune response against them. One innovative way to see through the deception is CAR T cell therapy. Thousands of a patient's own T cells are collected in a process similar to a blood donation. Using a modified and inactive virus that can't cause any disease but can introduce genetic information into a cell, the T cells are reprogrammed so they now produce special receptors called chimeric antigen receptors, or CARs, on their surface. These newly engineered cells, called CAR T cells, are grown in a lab, and millions of them are infused back into the patient. The new receptors enable them to latch on to a specific antigen on the patient's tumor cells and destroy them.
There you go. So that was an animated version of what CAR T cells are. So we know that, as the article states, they're not natural. Okay. So again, let's continue. Researchers outlined the course of this infection, which persisted and was symptomatic for at least 335 days in a preprint that has not yet been peer-reviewed in medics. Genetic analysis revealed that the person who was not reinfected, they carried around the same virus for almost a year. Year-long COVID-19 infection reveals within host evolution of SARS-CoV-2 in a patient with B-cell depletion. So this article was actually, it's in the thing, but of course it's not peer reviewed, so we can't, deal too much with the specifics of it. We can just take it as it is right now, and that's why it looks the way that it looks in this actual preprint. But we'll deal with the background. B-cell depletion therapies may lead to protracted disease and prolonged viral shedding in individuals infected with SARS-CoV-2 viral persistent in the setting of immunosuppressing raises concern of viral evolution. There you go. So talks about the method. Get off my books. And so here's the results. Over the course of almost a year, the virus accumulated a unique in-frame deletion in the amino acids. My bad. There y'all go. The deletion is where I was at. I'm going to start over. Over the course of almost a year, virus accumulated a unique in-frame deletion in the amino terminal domain of the spike protein and a complete deletion of ORF7b and ORF8, the first report of its kind in an immunocompromised patient. Also, minority variants that were identified in the early samples reflected the heterogeneity of the initial infection were found to be fixed late in the infection. Remdesivir and high-titer conservalant plasma treatment were given, and the infection was eventually cleared after 335 days of infection. The unique viral mutation found in this study highlighted the importance of analyzing viral evolution in protracted SARS-CoV-2 infection, especially in immunocompromised hosts, and the implications of these mutations in the emergence of viral variants. The study authors noted that while many mutations in the viral genome have been described, these have typically focused on sequence changes that occur in the spike protein of the virus, which helps the pathogen latch on to a host cell and gain entry. But there are several other viral proteins in the SARS-CoV-2 genome, and it seems likely that at least one of the other viral proteins would have some relevance to the infectious and pathogenicity of the virus. It's a spike all the time, but spike only makes up 13% of the viral genome. Jonathan Lee, an infectious disease expert at Brigham and Women's Hospital and Harvard Medical School, told Science. Yeah, this patient is all over the place, right? So this 47-year-old woman couldn't shake her cough or shortness of breath, baffling Veronica Nussbaum, an infectious disease specialist at the NIH. Her patient had been hospitalized at NIH with COVID-19 since the spring of 2020. As summer turned to fall and fall turned to winter, the woman should have mostly recovered, but she continued to need supplemental oxygen at home. Sometimes she felt better, sometimes she felt worse. Repeated COVID-19 tests were positive for the virus, but barely. Nussbaum and other doctors assumed they were picking up non-viable viral fragments, and as has been documented in other people after a bout with COVID-19. In fact, the woman's medical ordeal lasting nearly a year turned into a unique case study in how long an active infection can endure and how the virus can evolve inside one person's body. Viral evolution. So imagine being this virus evolving in you. This is a use case. Immunocompromised. They can't gain any type of immunity or protection. However, the virus is mutating, adapting, adjusting, and surviving. It's neither alive or dead, but when it has a host, a viable host, it is surviving at some point. Now, along with her lingering symptoms, Nussbaum's patient was unusual in another important respect. She had cancer, lymphoma, and been successfully treated with an aggressive treatment, CAR T-cell therapy, 3 years earlier. The treatment left her with vanishingly few B cells, a type of immune cell that churns out antibodies and helps the immune system function normally. Remember, we're not going to bore each other to death, but there's another study in here that I have in the actual description of the video dealing with a case study in the New England Journal of Medicine about the 45-year-old immunocompromised man infected for about 5 months. We have that. So we have cases 5 months, this lady almost a year. All right. So let's go back. Now, the preprint study identified a deletion in the spike protein sequence. It also described another huge deletion that completely eliminated two separate open reading frames, ORFs, portions of DNA that can be used to make spike protein, to make the protein. The coding regions of the ORF7B and ORF8 were totally removed. When this deletion has been described in patients with normal immune systems, the study suggested that it is the first to find it in an immunocompromised patient. Both ORF7B and ORF8 have been linked to the early release of antiviral molecules called interferon gamma. So let's look at what interferon gamma is. Let's see if we can find a video. So it is a diminized soluble cytokine that is the only member of the type 2 class of interferons. The existence of interferon, which early in history was known as immune interferon, was described by E.F. Wheelock as a product of a human leukocytes stimulated by pathoglutamine, and by others as a product of antigen stimulated lymphocytes. That boy over there asleep. All right. The COVID patient carrying these mutated viruses was hospitalized earlier on in their infection and given plasma. After about a month, they were healthy enough to be discharged, but still had symptoms, including cough and fever. Follow-ups occurring at 3-month intervals showed by PCR that the virus was still present. Pneumonia began to develop after 200 days. Their symptoms worsened, and they had to be readmitted to the hospital. On day 313, they were given several treatments, the antiviral drug remdesivir and convalescent plasma. The patient was finally discharged again after another 11 days and can now rest without supplemental oxygen. In a recent study of the evolution of the virus in one immunocompromised person, which goes back to the New England Journal of Medicine article, who died of the disease. The virus picked up mutations now associated with alpha, gamma, and delta variants before they had even started to circulate in the general population. I'm going to say this again. In another recent study of the evolution of the virus in one immunocompromised person who died of the disease, the virus mutated. They had virus mutations in them associated with alpha, gamma, and delta before they had even started to circulate in the population. So here's the New England of Journal. I told you, Journal of Medicine. Here it is right here. This was December 3rd, 2020 when this was initially published. Talks about the 45-year-old man. Now, I bring this up because it goes back here where we are talking about who? The 45-year-old man. See what I'm saying? We tying the science back. Now, remember, this article was published a few days ago in the Science Mag. You know what a sister told y'all to go check it out in science.org. All right, so we're on par with what the science says. But anyway, we know about this use case. Remember, we seen this in our previous class, polymerase chain reaction, and we know what's going on here. So look at that. From day 6 through 68, the patient quarantined alone at home. Then they start experiencing abdominal pain. Y'all don't remember reading this back then? On day 72, 4 days into the hospital admission. Look at that. On day 105, on day 111. Like it's going nuts. On day 143. So the virus must have stages of growth or something. Yes, the virus has stages of growth in immunocompromised people. Okay, so again, this goes back to the article, right? Look at the title of the article. Studying the evolution of SARS-CoV-2. So what do we have? In the evolution of SARS-CoV-2, we have 2 immunocompromised people. We see 2 instances where one person was infected for 324 days. Another one was infected for 5 months. And then we have the lady who had HIV, which saw the virus mutate in her body 32 times. All of these people have something in common. They're immunocompromised. This dude, the dude that had it for 5 months, he died. This person survived. The lady with HIV, she wasn't gonna never have no protection, of course, but she survived. Colin Powell had myeloma. He didn't survive. He was immunocompromised. And they're more susceptible of the virus mutating in them. And then if someone else, you know what I'm saying? Just think about it. If that person that's immunocompromised and all these things happen in them, the virus comes in as one way and leaves out a different way and enters the cell of another person, mutated, being more deadly or more infectious or more of something. The next thing you know, we have another R0, 5 or whatever going on, and you have one person now with this new variant spreading it to 10 other people, who spreading it to 100 other people, and then we think we got things under, we think we're on the backside of Delta, which I never said that we was, and neither has the science, but some people think that we're curving into an endemic, and we're not. But however, this will show more spikes. Right now, we still have 80,000 people a day being infected. Right now, we still are averaging 1,500 deaths. A week ago, it was 2,000 deaths for a whole, between August and September. It was 2,000 deaths a day, right? So we got 45,000 deaths a month, which could have been prevented. Now, if those deaths was down in the thousands, then we're doing something. But right now, the excess death rate, the excess death rate is high. And it's high because we don't have people getting vaccinated. So imagine the people that we get vaccinated, we help protect the immunocompromised people. So we don't have evolution of the SARS-CoV-2 virus transpiring in a patient for 324 days or 5 months and end up killing them. We have protection around the immunocompromised. We have brought down the death rate, right? We have brought down the hospitalization rate. Now we can look on the other side. But back to the point, we're studying the evolution of SARS-CoV-2 in one patient. Dude, leave me alone. Get down. Get down. I got to ball my fist up. Now, continuing. Some scientists think non-spike mutations merit more attention than they've gotten. It is spike, spike, spike all the time. Remember, we've seen this. But now we're finna get into the rest of what he's actually saying. Only makes up 13% of the viral genome. In June, the clinical infectious disease Lee and his colleagues analyzed previously published case reports of chronic infections and reinfections and found that the deletion, similar to the large one of Gadine and Nusblad identified, was among the most common mutations described. Other genes, Lee says, lack Spike's role in transmission and infection, but they are likely of importance when the virus is trying to fight against our immune system. Oh, y'all didn't think that the virus was trying to fight against the immune system? Thankfully, chronic COVID-19 infections appear relatively rare, but they are also important to study. New variants are still a threat, says Gupta, an infectious disease specialist at the University of Cambridge, and chronic infection is what drives at least some of them. Work by Gupta suggests that the Alpha variant, which surged in the UK in December 2020 before spreading elsewhere, may have first appeared in an immune-compromised individual. Now, do y'all remember when we talked about immunocompromised people having the ability to trigger this type of reactions? We did this on the show before. But here's an article from the 2020, and y'all still don't remember looking at this or me bringing this up and talking about it? Okay. But let's go on. Now, furthermore, Gupta and his teams reported convalescent plasma that patient received, which is rich in antibodies, appeared to drive viral evolution. I'm going to say this again. The viral evolution was due to they said, Gupta and his team reported, and I said they reported, that convalescent plasma that the patient received, which is rich in antibodies, appeared to drive viral evolution. Nusbland's patient received the same treatment, both when she first got sick and in the spring, when her symptoms worsened again. There's a common theme going on with immunocompromised and convalescent plasma, and then these big burst or outbreaks of these long periods of the disease existing within these immunocompromised people. Gupta, an important question is whether monoclonal antibody therapies, which are now recommended as a treatment of COVID-19 in high-risk patients, can also speed viral evolution in immunocompromised people. It's very important to limit the potential of these immunocompromised patients getting infected in the first place, Gupta says, both to protect them from the risk of severe infection and reduce the likelihood of a new viral variant arising. That's why we got to get vaccinated, people. But there you go. That's the gist of what we're talking about today, right? The evolution of SARS-CoV-2 in one patient over 324 days. We broke down a couple of the articles, summarized a little bit, got in and out of a couple of articles, didn't want to extend it out. Want to spend the next few minutes or whatever of our time to actually deal with if anyone got any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the information we just went over, or if you wanted to, dive a little bit deeper. However, if you purchased what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, if you have your copy of what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, I want you to join me on a panel, and I want you to give us a brief summary, not too long. Just give us some insight of your perspective of the book, what you think about the book. Would you recommend it? Would you recommend it to other people? Would if you got anything, if something doesn't sit well with you, or any type of critiques, this is the time. Hit the link, join a panel, ask away. Let's get it in. I see we got more people in the chat. Like the show, share the show, tell a friend, tell a friend. If you've got your copy of what SARS-CoV-2 has taught me, hit the link. Give us your opinion, your feedback on what you've read so far in the book, whether it's the intro, whether it's the forward, the intro, whether it's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 5, 6, or the bonus chapters in the back. Or if you just flick through the book, please hit the link, join the panel, give us some insight. You ain't got to be on camera. I just want your feedback. The audience wants your feedback. It's some people in the chat that has not purchased the book, and they want to know if it's worth their purchase or if it's not worth their purchase. Let's fire away. So again, in the chat is the link to the show. Please click on the link, join the StreamYard. If you've purchased what SARS-CoV-2 has taught me, hit the link, give us your honest feedback, and we're going to receive it. If you have any questions regarding the study that we just reviewed, we can deal with that too. Hit the StreamYard link in the chat, join the discussion. Let's hear about what SARS-CoV-2 has taught you. My book has taught you, brother. Are y'all scared? We got all these people watching, and the audience is building. And you mean to tell me the people that have bought the book, put a 1 in the chat, all the people that put a 1 in the chat, hit the link, join the panel, give us your feedback. Y'all busy? Is the book that bad? No, I don't need no Discord, bro. Yeah, the person had 3 different variants before the variants emerged elsewhere. Listen, all right, so Zane, and we've said this before. I thought I was clear when we talked about the lady with HIV. The virus mutates in immunocompromised people. Scientists have hypothesized that the immunocompromised, once infected with SARS-CoV-2, are responsible for these different variants that have emerged because the virus is mutating and adapting in the immunocompromised and leaving them differently. There's different variations of the virus that comes in one way and leaves out another way, causing potentially different variants to emerge. One way to stop the emergence of that is to get everybody vaccinated. So Charles, I seen your feedback in the chat. I guess you must be driving, or you probably hopped off, or somebody else live. Omar, what's good? Bias is sick, not feeling too well. Teddy, I seen your feedback, but none of y'all don't want to hit the link and let it rock out. Chavis, I don't know what you're doing. Rock City, you said you got it. You want to hit the link? Anusha, Benita. I mean, the link is in the chat, man. Hit the link. Give us your honest feedback. Don't send me a message on Facebook saying what you like about the book. I'm asking you to come on the platform and give your take on it. It ain't got to be long-winded. It could be very short. You could talk about what you like, what you looked at, what you've read so far, or just the way the book is formatted. I don't know. If you don't like it, please say you don't like the book. Anthony said he about to clock out for lunch, so we'll hold on and see if Anthony will have anything to say when it's his, you know what I'm saying, when he gets off the lunch break. I mean, when he log out for lunch. I'm gonna put the link in there again. Hit that link. Also, if you have not copied your copy of what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, the link is in the description of the video, but also in the chat. It's in the chat several times. We be having several people viewing the book, and that's cool. You know, we see the traffic when it comes. And then we have visitor names, and we know city and state that the people visiting from and what books they're looking at. We see all of it. Omar, everybody at work, bro. All you got to do is hit the link and say something for 5 seconds. Come on, man. 30 minutes of Simultip will be live, bro. 28 minutes of Simultip will be live. I'm trying to get it in before Simultip is live. Look who we have here. I don't care about y'all being at work. Y'all got like a 5-minute break. Click the link. What up, Nunu? What's
Are
good?
you able to hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
You
So I'm
sound
coming
clear.
on really quick. Thanks. Coming on really quick just to congratulate you on the publication, let you know that I enjoy it. I haven't gotten too deep into the book yet, but I really like that it's simplified for the layman, and also that you have review questions at the end of the chapter so that the people who are reading the information is able to grasp and comprehend exactly what they read previous. So just want to say thank you. And yeah, it's a really good book. Should get it.
Appreciate that. Don't be saying that because you know what I'm saying, you're a geek, you're a nerd too.
No, it really is good. Like I said, I haven't gotten too far in. I'm only in chapter 2, but I plan on doing some more reading this weekend. But so far, it's been great. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So appreciate you jumping on and appreciate you supporting the book, and hopefully the further you get, the more you retain, and the more feedback that you will be willing to provide. Is there anything else you want to say to the listening audience?
No, other than get the book because it's some great information that I think you need in order to combat the pseudoisms out there in regards to COVID-19. And yeah, just get it. That's it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having the guts to hop on and speak your piece for the last couple of minutes. We also have been joined by brother Anthony Smith. Salute to the brother. You at work, you on break right now, man. I want to go ahead and give you the floor if you're able to speak.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We hear you.
All right, yeah, I just got my bag. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had a chance to get into it that much yet. Besides, I read forward so far. I like it. I'm getting into a little bit of the first chapter. I've been working a lot lately, so I ain't really had to get into it so far. Yeah, I like it. Easy to read, somebody for a layman like me, I don't really understand too much of none of this, but the way you
Mm-hmm.
wrote it, understand everything pretty good. And yeah, like the font's good, everything. So far, so good.
Hey man, you said something that somebody else said to me, man. People, for some reason, man, they really enjoy the font size. They like, bruh, the font is perfect for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, it's like perfect. Like some books, like when it's too small, it's like hard to really like get into it. But like the size of the book, everything is like perfect.
Well, some people, and I'm gonna say not some people, brother Unc thought that the book was, he was like, man, this is a lot of work in here. He was like, this a whole lot of, he had a whole lot in here. But I thought that, for the size of what it is and how it's sourced and all of that, it ain't too difficult to get through, I guess. Had the words
Yeah,
been much smaller, this would have been a much bigger book.
yeah, yeah. That's what I like about it. Though it's like the bigger letters and like the little the test at the end too. So that way help with like the comprehension of because you lose
Facts.
time you just reading the stuff you don't know. You're gonna just go over your head and you ain't gonna think about it.
Very true. Very true. Man, one reason I did that because I felt like uh we would benefit more from jogging our memories. Normally when we're reading books, I know specifically when I'm reading a book, right? I'm reading, I'm trying to get into it. Each chapter is different and I'm trying to take notes and do all of that. But sometimes some books don't require notating because they flow in a particular manner that may not require notation. But you might go back if you want to cite something, you might, put a little something in there to jog you to take you back to it, to jog your memory about a particular subject. However, most of the stuff that we're reading, we're not retaining because we got to work. We might got kids. You know what I'm saying?
True.
We start reading the book and then we're pulled away from the book. So I felt like what could be a good way to help me help other people kind of digest this and make it where it can be more relatable to them and not so sciencey. And so I just kind of try to find a happy medium to be able to convey what SARS-CoV-2 taught me and make it transparent enough for you or anyone to be able to retrieve it. And as you can see, Sister Safi, she says she just getting into the book herself as well. And I think she gave me some feedback earlier. She says she liked what she read so far. I plan on getting a couple of more books for family members. I know Zane got the book. I don't know how much he got into it, but I know he ain't hit that link. But what else, man? What else about the book you like, or is there anything that you may not like?
No, I pretty much like it so far, but like I said, I haven't been so far into it, but yeah, I think it makes it's way easy to understand. I'm trying to pass it on to my mom too when I get done. She got like I want to say she like an anti-vaxxer, but how our community is when we all fall into that rabbit hole, all these little pseudo-isms and shit. So no, but yeah, I'm about to go get me some food, so I'm just jump off and listen. But yeah, I
Nah, no
appreciate the
problem,
book
bro.
and. Yeah, I'm about to get the volume 4 too next, so that's what I'm trying to get into too.
Yeah, man. Make sure you get the volume 4, man. We looking for your feedback on that and your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for
I
hopping
appreciate
on,
it.
man. Go on and get your food, man.
All right.
All right, peace. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. If you have what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, put a 1 in the chat. If you didn't put a 1 in the chat earlier, if you have what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't have what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, put a 2 in the chat. 1 in the chat if you got it, 2 in the chat if you don't. Zion said give him a few minutes. All right. people who have the book, the link is in the chat for you to hop on a panel, and you can give us a minute or two. You know what I'm saying? This is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to give your honest feedback about what you've read so far in the book. If you've read it, or if you just opened it up and kind of skimmed through it, this is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to do that. So what we'll do is we're going to wait on Zane. Zane will be present here in just a minute. Come on, man, hit the link. We had a couple of people who was brave enough to hit the link and hop on and build with us. For those of you who also has been in the last two little study sessions with on the Science with Sean channel, what is some of your what's your feedback in regard to what we've been dealing with so far? It looked like day one was a little tough, but then when we got to day two, we were able to digest what day one was actually saying. And then when we got to the quiz, it made it clear for a lot of us to see the answer jump off the page at us. And that's just from being able to slow it down and properly understand what Dr. Yellow was actually aiming for in that study. All right, let me pull something up for us. Oh man, I ain't good at the breakdowns. All I basically was using was the books. We got the book. So as long as we got the book, we can go in there and we can slow it down a little bit more. And you're absolutely correct, though. When we are in that class, it's fast. The chat fast, you know, he's trying to keep a pace because he has a timeline. He's trying to end the class at his time at 1. So he's trying to put a lot of information or compile enough information within that time frame to where he can get that lecture out and it not be long drawn. My dog is sleepy. He is sitting here with his eyes closed, and then he will get up and move and lay down. Then he get up and look. Then he get up and sniff. Then he get up and wiggle. Then he won't go to sleep. The man needs to go to sleep. You already ate. You already used the bathroom. You wrinkled up all in your face. Your mouth pinkish. Your eyes is close, tight. Your skin, the skin is showing is pinkish. You tired, man. You like a 2-year-old right now in the car seat on the way home on the interstate fighting your sleep. You're fighting your sleep. Yeah, there you go. Only on down. Well, you could have went in your crib. So Anusha says, because I don't know what he be saying sometimes. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes what Vince be saying only resonates to the people who are in the field or people who are microbiologists already. Not like in the field, but students of his classes. And they tend to follow along with what he's talking about. But as far as him and it just shows you teaching styles too, because some people learn different from different people. They're used to a particular style. And this holds true to the what some people hypothesize as the effectiveness of a black teacher versus the effectiveness of a white teacher. Their ability to be able to relate and then tie that information into whatever transpires. Yeah, man. So look, if you have your copy of what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, if you have a copy of your book right now at this juncture of this bill, I'm giving people an opportunity to, say like 1 or 2 things about what they like so far about the book. Nothing too long drawn out, just, or what they dislike about the book. You know what I mean? I don't think that the book would uh, only garner, praises. I'm anticipating and hoping that the book will also garner displeasures. Like, I want people to feel uncomfortable about the text if they feel uncomfortable about the text, but I want it to be genuine. Uh, I don't want it to be intentional, like just hate. I want it to be like a genuine thing. Like, I really, this part of the book was this, or I felt like this was too wordy, or I felt like this was that. I think you could have did a better job here. Have you looked at this particular information, because I looked at your sources, but I didn't see this. Did you overlook this, or things like that? That's a critique for me. But if you just come on and be like, you know, you're talking about some old grammatical stuff or a run-on sentence or something like that, then uh, that's fine. Get off your chest. So again, the link to hit the panel, if you have a copy of What SARS-CoV-2 Taught Me, is in the chat. If you have not purchased the book, please go to Same Tree Different Branch Publishing and purchase your copy of the book. The link is in the district. Constructive. I'm always about that. The link is in the description, and the link is also in the chat to purchase your copy today of What SARS-CoV-2 Taught Me. I am going to continue to sign books. Every book that has been purchased has been signed. It's about 75 ish, maybe more than that. I forget how many books, but it's then that first week there's a lot of books that have been signed, and I wore my fingers out. So Teddy has joined us, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you, bro, from hopping on. You want to go ahead and give your insight and your perspective of what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, your first look at it, or how far you are in the book, etc. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
What's going on with you, Sean, man? Hey, I
Hanging,
like
bro.
that book, man. I only got through them, but all the way to the virus chapter.
Okay, what you think about it? Go ahead. You say you like the book.
Yeah, what I've been reading is pretty good, man. I like that. I like what you put through up in this book, man. It's dope.
Appreciate that, bro. Anything any hangups or anything that you felt may have needed further explanation? Is it too much information from what you read so far, or is it just enough information? Um, you know what I mean? I know Kofi says later on there was some things in the book that I sent him on a review, to look up different words and things like that.
No, I think it's enough information on there. I don't think it's too much for us,
Okay.
especially if we already been following you
Right.
and Vincent Raffinelli.
Man, yeah, he a genius.
Oh yeah,
Have you shared anything in the book with a family member or friend or a loved one, significant other?
not yet, but I'm gonna get a couple more copies for family members. Let them check it out.
Oh, okay. You got some people in mind you trying to target, huh?
No, just spread the word. That's all.
I feel you, bro. It's love, man. It's love. All right, we got Zion in the building too. What up, Zion? What's good, bro?
What's happening?
What's happening, man?
Yeah,
What's
man.
your Go ahead, man. Floor is yours, man. You and Teddy, man. Whatever y'all want to talk about, man, it's on y'all, man.
Nah, I don't know. I just want to get my honest black critique about the book. I haven't read, like, I ain't got through it that much, but I got on page 19.
Mm-hmm.
Like, personally, for me, I don't really think it's for the layman because other than the forward and such, it's like much of these words that they're not familiar with. I don't believe they have, they have to stop and go through Google to look through the definitions. in my opinion. I would say the font. I would say the font a little bit too big, but the book is big enough for the font.
Gotcha. Would you? So would you suggest the smaller font? You must got good eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm nearsighted, I guess.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Be
Okay, and I
being
see.
nearsighted.
I see. I mean, I like the chapter review questions. I'm just looking at now,
Mm-hmm.
so they give me some time to think and look back through the previous chapters. So, I mean, it's a and on that scale, I would say like it makes people, you know, seek an interest in going back into what they read instead of just trying to go instead of flipping the page one way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Facts. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's what's up, man. Well, appreciate that honest critique there. Anything that stands out to you that just was like that impressed you or didn't impress you or something like that?
I mean, I mean the basically just like just citing the sources and all that stuff. Like even using the words that's supposed to be used within trying to learn biology. I think that's impressive myself
Gotcha.
because it's like these words are what people are gonna have to get familiar with. They can't just think it's just a one plus one equation. It's a longer formula than that. Just one plus one.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have some, you're gonna have some parentheses. You're gonna have to use the whole like parameters method when you want to try to create this book, or even like just studying the world of biology.
Mm-hmm.
It's real complicated than just an additional problem. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say.
Gotcha. This girl said she couldn't hold a book with one. Well, hey, ain't nobody got nothing to do with your little short hands now. All right. What up, Chef? What's good, bro?
Ain't nothing. Chilling. What I've been doing is, which makes it easier. Y'all, if anybody need help with the vocabulary, I like to read a lot of my books on either my tablet or my phone. I'm real new age with that, so you can actually scan pages with your phone and turn the shit into text. So the chapters that I'm reading first, I actually scan all of the pages just with my phone. That way the text is now digital. And when I'm sitting there on my tablet, I could just click the word that I don't know, right? And then, define it right in my phone to define the word for me. So that's an easier way to go through texts that have a lot of words in there that you don't that you're not familiar with. Is an easier way for you to be able to read it and define and look up the words, without having to use different devices. You could just do it. So I scan the pages, so when I'm out and about, I can just pull out my phone and read the pages that I want to read or the chapters that I want to read. So that's a good way for y'all to be able to carry the book around with you. Like if you know you about to go sit at the DMV for about an hour or something, scan the pages you want, you know what I mean, to read, and then when you get there, you can sit there and read it. You know what I mean? That's how I'm able to consume a lot of information nowadays anyway. So that's my take on it.
That's peace. What about the book? What's from what you read so far? Notice a couple of pages that you read so far. What's your insight or your critique?
Oh, well, you know, the spread of the hold on, let me look through it. My phone. The spread of the virus, that's a good, you know what I mean? I like how you break down you know, how, what is it, the viral spread, the vector spread, all of that type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I said, it's completely new language to us. Like, so people got to be honest with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They have to be honest with that. You know what I mean? It ain't no like I think Teddy said it's definitely not for laymen, right? You can definitely get bogged down with, you know, the new terminology, but that's with anything like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad you even attempted to write it, because, you know, we hear you talking all of the time. So like you said, you're not an expert. So for a person like me, if somebody can admit that they started from the same place as I did, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
with the shit, then I hate when I feel like somebody knows something that I don't know. You feel
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, that's why I
Like
put it in the book like that. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
it makes you like, yo, if this nigga, excuse me, if this nigga understand this shit,
Yeah.
you feel me?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
then I'm gonna go ahead and try to obviously is understandable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If this nigga coming from the same situation that I'm coming from, and he took the time out, if you're not taking the time out to understand, then that's just your laziness. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's just your laziness, and I hate when I feel like I'm being outworked by somebody. You know what I mean? It's like, yo,
Yeah.
it's like working out with somebody. Like, it ain't that this motherfucker is stronger than me or anything. I'm just being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm just being lazy. It took him time to get to that level. He didn't start off there.
Facts.
You feel me? So that's just that's a mental exercise that I like to go through. And I do that, you know, by coming in this community with y'all. The only thing that I feel like I won't take the time out to do is the metal netter.
Yeah, you said
Like
that.
I'm stuck, you know, I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just gonna be something that I'm gonna just let them have.
It ain't
You
for
know what I mean?
everybody. Yeah, it ain't for
Yeah.
everybody either. So yeah.
So, but
It's
yeah, the
not,
book definitely. I started reading some chapters, but I really want to read it with my girl.
I got
Right.
you. Yeah.
So I just been reading ahead of her. So when me and her sit down Sunday, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
both off, you know what I mean, Sunday. You know, we both agreed that we was gonna start going through it. So I haven't really started reading yet. I just been perusing it and scanning pages. So when I do read it with her, I can already be a little further ahead to help her with some shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The
Facts. Yeah.
tax and shit that's gonna be, you know, hard for both of us. I didn't already start reading so we don't both get bogged down with the vocabulary. So that's what I've been doing so far.
Yeah. So and I know you mentioned that I in the book when you read why I said it, I was like, man, I ain't know none of these words, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was
Exactly.
like, man, I gotta look this stuff up too. So yeah, it made me, you know what I mean? Like kind of that was, I guess that's why I didn't explain the words like that, because I wanted, after I admitted it in the book that I had to look up the words, I wanted to like just inspire people like, hey, yo, it ain't no problem with just slowing down and looking the word up and then gain a little understanding if you're able to. You ain't got to understand everything fully, because not even scientists can communicate with us in a way that it just gets to us. You know what I mean? It's just, it takes people through example to actually be able to connect certain dots at times. But, you know, like if people tune into our shows and the more we talk about the viruses and all of these things, then while they're even going through the book, some of that stuff will start catching on to them, and then be like, all right, okay, boom, now I know what you're saying right here. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, that one.
yeah,
But
we ain't
it's
gonna
like
leave you out to dry.
people reading the book, they're gonna be thinking like, where the glossary at?
Yeah. And that's why I intentionally was like, had to say that, like, when I was reading these articles, I would have to stop and look up the word, or even in the demonstration online, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would go and highlight a word if I'm on my laptop, and then bring it up so people could actually see that. Like, those are things that we have to do with these scholarly articles, and that's the challenge that presents itself to us, especially when we're trying to know better, especially in the middle of a pandemic. So it's like I said, it's a path.
Yeah, because those people go through years of school. So it's definitely going to be, a learning curve,
Right.
just off of the vocabulary alone. So, you know what I mean, yo, and we just got to catch up, yo. Like, seriously, we just got to catch up. Like, it ain't nobody's fault, It ain't the education. It ain't our education fault. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a very small community of people who understand immunology and virology, right? That's a very small community. This shit has been thrust upon the whole world, in a matter of months. So the whole
Facts.
world is playing catch up right now. It ain't just us.
Yeah, it
You
ain't
Right.
feel
making
me?
it in
So
the general
that's
public.
just what it is. So I appreciate the fact that you even took out the time, especially, you know what I mean? I think you did the biggest dive into the shit, for real. I
Appreciate
feel
it.
like Unc participated, but he took he took easier route to combat just misinformation. I feel like you went deep into the, you know what I mean, to actually understand what was going on. You know what I mean? I feel like Unbiased was doing it also, but not as far as you went into the situation. I feel like the people who did deal with it took the approach, I'ma just do enough to get past the pseudos or the people that's spreading misinformation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
That's a
you
good
went
feeling.
into the shit far as wise, on a whole nother level. So yeah, it's gonna take a minute to get to it, but yeah, it's definitely worth getting the book. And like I said, I promoted in my small community. You know what I mean? Like, this is the only book that I, been telling people, that's in my circle, like, is a book that you should get when the conversation been coming up. So, because it wasn't no books for the shit. We was reading, what's that? The dude Peter Hotez book.
Yep.
Right? And that came out before the vibe, you know what I mean?
Yep. Before the pandemic.
So
Absolutely. Yep.
like, for us, this been the first, work on the shit. So man, come on, yo. Like this some work that's been done, in the field work, like, from going through the coronavirus, going through the shutdown, sitting down, reading the information, learning as we go. Like, this shit, we still in the middle of the shit. So,
Right.
we like, you don't know, this might just be the first edition. You might have to
Yep.
revise it and update it, next year because of the new information that's coming out. So,
Very true.
yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much why I left the leg room for, like, especially with those bonus chapters. I left the leg room because those conversations, understanding, a more thorough understanding of what breakthrough infections are, or what we should perceive them to be, or the origins, for instance, because, there's more data, there will be more prevalent data or updated data on the origins that would force me to go back and All right, and it's time to deal with that bonus material work, and then extend the book out, or just add on to that and then update what I need to in that next version. But Sister Safi has said in the chat that she had asked, out of all questions at the end of every chapter, but one of the most provoking chapters didn't have questions, and that was chapter 6. The reason that I didn't put, and I should have, but I didn't, because it was dealing with the misinformation, and because the majority of that data was in there and it's exhausting, I didn't want to put that. But if I would have put questions in chapter 6, it would have pretty much would have been something along the lines of being able to identify who said what claim, where did the claim of, things like that, because that was my line of thought for that chapter. But then I took it back and was like, no, I really didn't want to add any questions to that one. And then of course the bonuses, they're not going to have anything, but I like that. I mean, maybe I'll do that on a live stream one day where we just really take a deep dive into chapter 6, because that's been one that's been highlighted in across all platforms and all over social media, where we've been dealing with these misconceptions for so long, and these people that we need to really, maybe have a further or a deeper conversation. And then she says, at some point you should invite some anti-vaccine people who have read your. Absolutely, that's the goal. I think there's one brother that is an anti-vaxxer who purchased the book. I'm not sure if he actually did purchase the book, but if he did purchase the book, when he purchases the book and he gets it and he reads it, I would love to get his view. We talked in Dr. Maat's chat, so it's only a matter of time that I'll see him on one of Unc's posts, giving Unc hell, and I'll ask him if he actually got the book yet, and if so, I would love to sit down and talk about his thoughts and see what he learned from the book, or if it changed his mind or did anything like that, or if he still takes or holds to certain positions based on some of the claims in the book. So yeah, absolutely. And Unc's uncle, who's vaccinated, but he poses very challenging questions at time. I would like to see. I would like to hear from him as well, because he's gonna push back regardless of what side of the argument he's on. You know what I mean? He still keeps that other thought in play. Says I've been down with it. Let me see. Ox Rose, you took on pseudos. Yeah, so everything is everything, man. If you want to join the panel, bro, just click on the link, man. We talking about the book, from some people who've opened it up, cracked it open, looked at it, read a couple of things, what you like, dislike, what you think I should have did better, things of that nature. Any criticism, constructive criticism is always welcome. If you want to talk about it, you know what I mean? I think you got the book. Sure, you're in Atlanta. I mean, yeah, you're in the Georgia area. So I think I sent you the book. Nusha says science has a total different language. Absolutely.
Facts.
Man, absolutely. And we're dealing with that just even in the study group. Like Zane, like you were mentioning earlier, like no glossary, anything like that in a particular book. But think about when we're in class with Vincent, right? And he's going through that lecture that he went through, especially like Wednesday. What was your thought process of sitting through that lecture and listening to an actual teacher and feeling lost?
Yeah, it's like I've been out the room for like 5 years, man. But yeah,
Teddy,
it's like
you in there too?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zane.
But it's like I'm familiar with, I want to say, the prefixes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I know, and the suffix of like the words he used, like like when he said the cryomagnetic, stuff like that. I kind of know that's having to do with something cold, but I didn't know he was like talking about a whole method of how to take pictures of the of the virus and all that stuff. So it's like it's complicated in that way, but it's like you kind of got to tail into what he's saying. But it takes some time.
Gotcha. Teddy, what you think, man? When you sitting in them classes, man, and he going through there, man, and you just feel disconnected.
Oh yeah, man. I was at first I didn't know, I didn't understand none of his language at all. So I just had to sometimes listen to his podcast over and over. I was like,
Yeah.
man, him and Sean like kind of on point right now. They kind of saying like some of the same stuff. So
Yeah.
I just kept on listening
Well,
to old boy.
Yes, a lot of it just had to deal with the research and reading all those scientific articles and things of that nature. So by the time that he goes live, right? When he goes live, I have some type of understanding of what he's talking about because of all the other information that I've already went through and read and things of that nature. And then he and I'm just telling you the truth. He provides clarity on a position that I may take based on data, right? So, and I've been getting into the habit, and I'm not acting like an expert, but I'm just saying, like, I've been getting into the habit of when I'm reading certain data and I'm seeing the way things go, like, you know, scientists, they're trying to predict. I mean, you have people out there that's trying to predict certain things to transpire. And then you hear those predictions and and then you're thinking based on what you've read, based on your research, does that align with what you've been studying and what you're seeing based on the data? So now it drives you to be data driven. And then when I say something like, for instance, like when the conversation, I'm bringing this up because we talked about it on the other show about the pandemic going into an endemic. So as an example, the reason that I was not receptive of it being in an endemic phase or turning that corner was because of the data. How many people still were being infected a day? How many people were still dying a day? Until that data changes and that data is reduced tremendously, I don't see us turning that corner. And then the steps that it requires for us to turn that corner means more people vaccinated. You know what I mean? Deaths cut in half. We're not seeing 40,000 deaths. We're seeing like 10,000 deaths. You know, we're seeing a big reduction in deaths. We're seeing a big reduction in hospitalizations. We're seeing a big reduction in infections, right? That's an indicator. That would be indicators for us now that we know because we're listening now to epidemiologists and we're reviewing the works of epidemiologists because they're going to give us the telltale sign. The CDC and all of them, they'll come out and they'll confirm it. But the epidemiologists that are frontlining and doing the actual work, that they're writing articles and putting out information as well, and they're telling us before these other people are notifying us of what's transpiring. So, man, that's the only reason that it sounds like I know what I'm saying in some instances is because just trying to keep up with the data, keep up with new data and all of those things. But just knowing, all right, when it comes to this, I need to be on my epidemiology tip. So I need a sound epidemiologist that's reliable, that updates almost as every day as Vincent Racaniello does. And also the same thing with immunology, because we need that right now data so that we can understand how the vaccine is performing in people, what it's doing and things of that nature. We need to know about the virus, how it's mutating, how it's adapting, how it's doing over a scale of a time, and then how it's doing in the population. So you merge all of those things, and what's stuck is the words Vincent Racaniello uses. When you're studying viruses, you have to be a multidisciplinary, period. He said that. That means that we don't have to know everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to know everything. We just need to know a little bit about each thing that's centered around this damn pandemic because we're living in it. We are the ones that got to live in it. So maybe one day, and this might bode well because this YouTube will outlive us, and the book will outlive us. But one day when they look back and they study this pandemic, we got a book that they can refer to. You know, our kids, or whoever it is on down that line. They can refer back to that time. They can refer back to all the videos we've done. They can refer back to any arguments or articles that may have been written on it. But man, we got a publication that will say, hey, this is what SARS-CoV-2 taught me. And, you know, hopefully that's the mark. If I don't leave any other mark with any other publications, man, hopefully this mark will be left that way and people receive it as such. And you know what I mean? After the fact or even during it. But I see we joined by Brother Unk, the God Killer.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just feel like they're also gonna see how the public kind of took the pandemic as well, just like how we got to see it with the people who had to encounter the Spanish flu. They're gonna see the same thing repeated in our generation.
Facts. And the misinformation, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
What up, Unk?
What's good, man? How y'all doing, man?
We cooling.
Yeah, just
we're glad you took time out your busy day to join us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, nigga, I'm a thorough supporter. Nigga, I support with the
shirt,
head, nigga. No matter how crazy you is, bro. No matter how ridiculous you is, all the way around the board, yo. I don't listen to you. I ignore you. I just feel like you're going through something. This shit tight right here, nigga. I ain't listening to you. Crazy. That shit fire. Fire, nigga.
Yeah, man. Kofi did his thing with them, designing them, man.
Yeah, I like that shit kind of slick as I'm kind of jealous and shit. That shit hard. Getting them motherfuckers in all flavors, yo. Yeah, we support the science for Sean around here, man. And I seen some of y'all up in that class too. It's good to see familiar faces in the damn class, man.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I be right there. I be sitting in the front goddamn row. I'm like, what the fuck? What did he just say? The what? So, you know, I think the shit that helped me out with the class is being able to just to bounce the shit off back and forth off of y'all. You know what I mean? Bounce around the show. It keeps us real familiar with the term. It's just a language, right? The vocabulary. And you know, like I heard you say, Sean, like it's just about looking up words, man. And once you get familiar, we've been listening to him for about what, a year and a half now, a year or so.
Over that, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So we kind of, you know, the familiarity with the terms is there, right? And some of us have a better command. I know with me, I just can't watch the class one time. I got to do it a couple times while I'm riding. If I ain't arguing, chefing them over Black Egypt, you know what I'm saying, and slavery, then, you know, I can kind of focus in on that type of thing. But for everybody listening, man, just keep replaying the downloads, man. That's an excellent podcast. Amy, them two, man. Yeah, you listen to them a lot, man. You hear the experts come on, yo, you get the vocabulary. And what you're going to notice is, man, they don't even try to use the big words for real, man. They be putting it in plain English for you, but it's the concepts that we got to get. And once you get that, you know, you already hear just how ridiculous that 99.99% of the people in our community, when they start talking that nonsense, how ridiculous they are, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've been new today where a certain amount of viruses that kind of cause cancer, right? So when I heard him say it, it wasn't, you know, far-fetched, but it was just, you know, the way he put it. And then when you hear people in our community say they can cure cancer with some food, you be like, well, man, that's you know, viruses cause cancer, right? And then our community got to push back against vaccines when, you know, like they already got a vaccine against a certain type of cancer. You know what I'm saying? And I hear people saying, I'm not gonna get my daughter that, I'm gonna get my son that, but you're trying to stop them from developing cancer. Like, for me, that's remarkable, right? Like, I've been heard about the DNA vaccines and the mRNA vaccines, right? Because we stay listening to podcasts around here. So everybody listening, man, get into the podcast, into the scientific podcast, man, about that, man. I listen to all types of vaccine podcasts. I think it's essential for our learning, man. Make sure y'all add the Science with Sean to the download because he does a great job. Now, what I've been doing lately, I've been looking at some of Sean's podcasts, right? And I've been picking out little things I want to talk about. So I'm kind of organizing it where I can go straight to it, use some of the sources Sean used, go right to it and blah, 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 blah. Right? Because in the community, people are mixing up a whole lot of stuff. So, you know what I mean? We don't got shows like this, man. We can just parlay. I just think it's a good thing, man. I'm going to tell you this, though, man. Like you said, Sean, man, they be some geeks over there, bro. And it's good for us to be there and just stick around. So I'm going to tell y'all this, man. Keep going to the class. If you can afford the textbooks, get the textbooks. And just realize, man, we're on the right path, man. The rest of the people is straight sick. Our community is sick, right? And we just got to be the ones that's going to smash it out for them because they out their minds.
They're stuck on the hamster wheel, huh?
They stuck on the what?
So they stuck on the hamster wheel. With that rhetoric.
Yeah, it's like I don't even get mad. Like I'm past getting mad and inky and all that, man. They just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And I guess I think I know for me, and I'm gonna speak for goddamn Sean, we just got to get better at not blowing out top because man, once you sit in them classes, you realize that we're dealing with idiots. I mean, bona fide idiots. And you should never let a bona fide idiot get you outside of yourself. Let them ignorant dudes talk. Let them get it all out. Let them, every last ounce. Sir, are you finished? Keep going. Are you finished? Right? Jot down a few things a day. That's how you do it. I like to jot down key things. And then we get to talking, right? Throw their ass off the show. If they can't keep quiet, throw them off the show. But the listening audience has to see just how ridiculous these people are. Like they're nowhere near the mark. They're not close. They're not in the ballpark. They're not doing any of that. They're not. And it's very clear that the subject matter takes a command of certain things: biology, evolution, immunology, virology, epidemiology, all that. It takes having a little understanding just so you can follow the damn conversation, let alone start kicking that shit like our community be doing. So I think this is a breath of fresh air to our community, man. And y'all might not know it now, but in the future, man, y'all gonna look back. They gonna say, yo, them niggas was doing their thing, y'all. Simple. Just doing their thing. Yeah, I support Science with Sean. Yeah, we're gonna buy your books regardless, Sean. I know you say don't buy your books, but sorry, bro. I'm not listening to you, bro.
Kevin already bought it. I already told Chef.
We all brought it. Kent brought it. I brought it. I know Concrete Corey.
CK bought it.
He right. So we buy it. We don't listen to you. What? Don't buy it. Shut up. Matter of fact, I got some white people gonna purchase the book. I know you don't want white people buying your books. You don't want the white people money, right?
I'm too pro black.
Too pro black. I don't want that white people. I actually
money green.
I actually heard a person tell me she was so blacked out. I ain't gonna say her name. She was so blacked out. She was like, I didn't even take the loans. I was like, dog, they gave you the loan at 2%.
I already had some white people purchase the book though.
Sometimes I'm saying being blacked out, can become a weight, Like if you don't realize that things change and shift, and I think everybody on this panel understand what the goal is, man. To educate, to give black people a chance at an education that they normally wouldn't get. Right. And so that's why I've always talked about evolution. That's why Sean is taking up the task, right, to stay on this subject, because we're giving regular people the opportunity to peep into the world of the experts. And I'm saying for me, that's always was my job, to give people a side of things that they normally wouldn't hear. Right? To sit down and listen to some hard subject matter and kind of make it palatable, for the everyday people. And I think for me, that's Black African power. Not hollering about power to the people, the race first. Nah, that shit's backwards. Like, you shut the fuck up. See, it's about action. In the world we live in, it's about not what you say, but the action. So we can look at everybody on this panel, We can look at all the families. We can look at our actions. So if you don't think that we thinking about our families first, right? Then what the fuck is you looking at? It's our actions that show, right, that we care. If you look at the Nation of Islam, their actions clearly show they never gave a fuck about black people, that they cared more about their organization in the Nation of Islam. But you look at Malcolm, if you look at Martin Luther King and them, right, it clearly showed you that they cared about black people no matter what the fuck they was. I'll tell y'all again, look at the actions of people. You can make your mouth say anything. Look at their actions. Look at the platform and look what they actually producing. Shout out to Dr. Oyama, man. We had a serious conversation the other day. I suggest y'all go back. Me and Dr. Oyama, we'll be on every Thursday, talking that shit. But go ahead, y'all. I don't want to upset the conversation, but go to the website, man. Scientific Method, Science for Sean, man. Scientific literacy, man. Yeah, this shit hot, man. And get the kids these too. Yeah, they hot. And it's the good quality. I got the 2X. I don't like the muscle bound, man. So I got the 2X show, but that XL fit me well too.
You didn't want to be muscle bound.
I ain't with the muscle. I got the Mossi. Got me like I got some damn muscle. I ain't no fucking muscles. The shirts fit good though, man. Let me see how they wash.
Link in the chat.
Canvas wash good, huh?
Hey, hold up. So I wanna mess with you real quick, if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so this would be good too, Chef. I want you to peep this, Chef. Make sure you pay attention to the audience too. See if they're saying anything. But all right, so I want to go back to this question right here. You see this question on the screen?
Transcription? Oh.
What is the What is the first biosynthetic event that occurs in cells infected with dsDNA viruses?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. What is the first event that occurs? Okay. Protein synthesis. Hold on. The first event. I'm thinking it's either A or all above, yo. Because the fusion can happen when an infected virus. My fault. When infected cells.
Do me a favor, Stop. Do me a favor.
It's B.
No, it's not. Hold on, Chef. Nope.
Go ahead. What?
Pull out volume 1. Your biology book.
All right.
Let me know when you got it.
All right, hold on.
Chevron there cheating. Chevron was over there listening and not saying nothing.
Hey, you sure it ain't? Hey, man.
Do you got the book? Go to page 199.
All right.
When you get to 199 in the yellow book in the yellow part where it says principles, synthesis of RNA from DNA samples, the very first one, read it.
All right.
I knew she in the chat laughing at you too, Unc.
Why she laughing at me?
Oh no, you gotta ask.
Motherfucker. Yeah, it's 2. It's saying transcription is the first viral biosynthetic reaction following infection of cells by double-strand DNA viruses.
Right, now read the question again.
What is the first biosynthetic event that occurs when cells infected with
DS is double-stranded DNA viruses.
So that's the answer, right?
Yeah. It's B.
Yeah, I just repeat that dsDNA.
Yeah, so that A, but that A is something different. A is what can happen. Yeah, okay, that's why I'm all right. But
yeah,
A
that's a different.
Cells.
That's different.
That's different. They ain't got nothing to do with it, right? But that's why it threw me, because I was familiar with it. It ain't have shit to do with the answer. I'd have been wrong on the test. But since we had it, right, cells can actually fuse together. So you can have an infected cell can infuse with a healthy cell, or you can have two infected cells that infuse together. Start getting this club of cells together, and they all infected. Yeah, that's
Now,
crazy.
What do y'all want to know how I knew that though?
How did you know that though?
Because I guessed it. Listen,
he said, I guessed it.
I guessed it.
Stayed at the Best Western Hotel and ate a good breakfast.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm good. I'm good at taking tests. And is elimination, right?
What?
You got to start eliminating stuff first off. Like, so the transcription was the only thing that seemed like it would have happened first, just because of the prefix of the word. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, Zane, you said you caught it this time when I said DS, double stranded.
Yeah, see, sometimes them lowercase letters, I don't be knowing what they be meaning.
Yeah, and he never said that in the class either. He never said it in the class, but he did say double stranded. Remember when we go back to this example that he used right here. Well, not necessarily, yeah, right here, right? When we're talking about, what has to happen in this phase before it gets to plus mRNA, right? He said the most important thing was this had to happen. Dealing with these viruses right here, all these viruses right here on the outer layer. In order to get to transcription and before it become mRNA, the DNA has to be double-stranded DNA plus or minus. Now, so Unc may not have caught this, but Unc, did you know that DNA will repair itself?
Go ahead. What'd you say?
All right. Did you know a virus's DNA, if it's broken, it'll repair itself before it gets to the nucleus?
Thought it was possible, but I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, in that slide, this is what he was telling us.
Oh, that's in the book. That slide in the book too.
Yep, this slide in the book too.
Is that in the slides in the syllabus?
Yeah, this is the syllabus.
Okay. All right. Yep, that's it. Yeah, man, that's too you tripping. Let me mute myself out. You bugged out.
No. We went through this. Because look, all right, so do you know what this red arrow mean right here?
Let me see.
Yeah.
What it means, Chef?
It means go to the right.
Zane, what it means, Zane? Or Teddy?
No, nigga.
They know what it means. We just went through it.
Whatever A was.
It's a promoter.
Transaction.
Nah. Remember, the red arrow is the promoter.
Oh, my bad. I'm on mute. Yeah, I was saying it has something to do with the promoter.
Yeah, that's the promoter right there. And this right here, what's that right there? What is he saying with these two lines right here?
Double-strand DNA.
There you go. That's double-stranded DNA. The top line is the plus sign, and the bottom sign is the negative sign of double-stranded DNA. So if we go back here and we see these wiggly lines right here, we know this is the plus sign. This darker version, blue swivel, is the plus, and this lighter gray is the minus. It's even on the diagram.
Okay.
You
I
see what I'm
couldn't follow
saying?
them charts, especially the second, that genome chart. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah. So now when we go back to this, right? When he pulled it up initially, it just looked like a damn maze. But when we go back and we go here and see that he coded it, the plus is the darker version and the minus is the lighter version, we can now go back to what the hell he was saying from the beginning with these viruses, right? Because we got these viruses over here, and then they're converging here, They have to be double-stranded to get to the nucleus. And then transcription is reached, and then it gets to the RNA perspective. And then we know when we're looking at RNA, we know we have the plus RNA and we have the negative RNA, and they swivel just like the plus and negative DNA, but they're in different versions. So then when we get to, I want to skip this real quick because I was going to ask y'all the exon question, but I know I'm going to throw Unc off. That's why he muted out. But when we get back to this one, the transcription being regulated, right? We got the initiator sequence, which is in yellow, right? We got the Tata sequence here, right? And then we know what we're dealing with right here. And all of this is just proteins, that you're seeing shades of, but they got different names in the proteins and at what level. But they all have a promoter, each of these viruses. So really, when we're looking at a virus sequence, we're looking at, and this Tata is just basically a TA sequence over and over. So when we got into it.
Okay, I about to say what Tata's supposed to mean.
Right, because we looked at it like this when we was dealing with Tata. Remember, Tata is always the green. The initiator sequence is always yellow. And the promoter is always our arrows. And this is these two outside viruses are adenoviruses. And this is a SV40 virus. And you have a late virus and an early virus. And he said, and we really ain't got to deal with what CPF mean, although he explained it in USF1 means, but we need to know what we're looking at. And if we go back right here and you deal with the promoters, you're dealing with, pretty much at what degree or whatever regulatory way that the virus is going. So now when we get to the transcription by RNA pole, we can walk through and see the double-stranded DNA there with the promoter right there. And then it's processed with the polymerase 2 coming into the fold and merging, which is this virus or whatever, these things merging in and then going through the whole transcription. So this is basically what he's saying, a virus. This is the behavior of a virus. And then that mud being incurred. But now we got to the point of going back over that little lecture and then just digging into the book. We just really got to the first question. Pretty much. But the more we keep looking at it, the more, the more stuff actually come out. But yeah, you can take yourself off of mute, man. We ain't gonna be, we ain't gonna question you no more. But I did start the show off talking about a person who had been infected with COVID for 354 days. It was a cancer patient, immunocompromised. They went through CAR T cell, CAR T cell therapy in the past. And basically it's like, it's a major loss of function of B cell. So people that go through that, they need help with their B cell. And we were dealing with that. Look what Anusha say. Because transcription can only happen on double-stranded DNA. Boom. It can't happen on a single-stranded DNA. If it's single-stranded, it's going to be forced to repair and make a double strand. I picked B2, Sheffer. He said, I use the same concept. You said I use the same. Yeah. I used to look at stuff like that too, process of elimination, which one made sense. Yeah, remember, look. Yo, where you at? Sheffer, where y'all at?
Yo.
Look at this. Boom. I got my jab yesterday. Shout out to Think Ahead.
That's what's up.
That's your job.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yo, think ahead. If you wanna because I know your arm's sore right now. If you want to come on the panel and talk about your experience, you could do that. Mongo or whoever, if you got what SARS-CoV-2 taught me, hit the link. You can come on and give your critique or what what you like, didn't like, or what you think I should have did better in the book. You can come on and you can build on that. Pretty much it's open it's open right now. We just vibing out. But shout out to Think Ahead. If you don't mind, what vaccine did you get? Did you get Pfizer? Did you get Moderna?
Yeah, I'm telling y'all, if it's anything that I can add to the shit, if you want to make your life easier, scan the pages. Trust me, that shit it worked. And I just figured this shit out. I just figured out you could do that. So you know what I mean?
What app
It's
did you use?
definitely, you can take it with you in your pocket. You carry your phone everywhere with you.
And Chef, what
So
app did you use?
I just used the camera app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the camera app. You know
You,
it might be the new update, but anytime it see text, it pull the text out of, you know what I mean, out of the picture, and I just press copy, and then I went into my notes app and just put paste in my notes.
So you just cut your camera on, went to the book.
Yep. Opened the pages up, scanned them, copied them.
Did it ask you to scan though?
No, what it does, once you take the picture, right, a little box come up on the picture to show you that it's text on the picture, right? And when you press that little
Oh, you're on iPhone. You're on iPhone.
yeah, when you press that, the text come up, and you just press copy. And I take it in the notes, right? I write whatever it is, you know what I mean, and then I paste it, and then it all goes in there, as one document, and I can read it, and you know what I mean. I can highlight words. I can do everything with it. I can highlight. I can define. I can look for different words in the thesaurus. I can pull up the encyclopedia. So you really can dive into it like it's a PDF. So
Shout out to Mike. Yeah, you must be behind us a little bit, but absolutely, we did this on the other channel. Mike might be cheating and might be using the whole dang bill from the other channel. I don't see that on my Samsung. I got a note. Maybe I need to,
damn, I ain't.
maybe I need to update my note.
Well, I don't know about no
Anthony, you're gonna
Android.
have to break that down, bro.
I'm sure it does it though. Like,
Yeah, he said, dude. I believe him.
yeah, those phones be, you know what I mean. Samsung don't let Apple do nothing without them, being able to do it too. So, and if it's not readily in your phone, then more than likely it's an app for it.
Yeah, more than likely. I just can't read from my device, man. If I won't read it if it's like on, you know what I mean. I have a problem with that. I gotta have a physical book in my hand for some reason. Like I got a gang of PDFs, but I really won't even read the PDFs like it. Like if I got the physical book, I'm gonna read that Joker. There's something about me flipping pages, and I'm slow. I guess I'm old school when it comes to that.
That's how Unc is. He loved to have a physical copy.
Mm-hmm. It's just better for me, I guess. Hey, y'all going live?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was trying to come up with a topic. I be sitting here asking Uncle them what's the topic, because they'll leave me hanging.
Right.
And I be on there
Hey,
talking to my damn self.
facts. When you did that shit on the screen the other day, boy, I screenshotted that shit. I screenshotted it so quick, Chef. I was like, how the hell Chef do this? He got the man up there with the weaponry and the whole nine, yo. I was like,
Yeah,
and then he got his
that's the
face
Call of
real
Duty.
small. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, I was like, that gotta be. I said, did CK do this?
Yeah, that's the Call of Duty. I got a whole bunch of them. So it's just different things to make the stream, look better, do things to make it sound better.
Mm-hmm.
Give people visual plus, good audio. You know what I mean? Gotta start competing with you gotta start competing with the bigger channels, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you got better information, then you know what I mean, tighten everything up. Don't give them no way around, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You and Kofi.
Yeah, don't give them no way around it.
I hear you and Kofi. Cause both of y'all be doing that. Look, I ain't gonna lie to you, yo. I took a screenshot of that Joker. I sent that Joker straight to Kofi. I said, yo, Sheffrin is killing the game.
Yeah, and I hook all my devices up to it. That's why I was able to read your intro and stuff.
Yeah, that was hard. Now
show people how I was reading it, and that was straight off of my phone.
Now, soon as you told me what you just did, when you said it the first time, it registered to me. Okay, so that's how we got the damn words on the screen. Yeah. I was over here like, is he using a scanner or some shit? I was in awe.
Yeah, so you just gotta use. See, you got the MacBook, you got everything, so you just gotta use the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I have to practice it a little bit because I guess I'm lazy with that part of it. Like no, people be saying, man,
that's what
I didn't even know how to screen record.
But see, that's what I was saying yesterday, right? I was saying like when you build a network, everybody don't have to know how to do everything, right? If you just focus on the information, you let other people handle the other shit. You know what I mean? Because look, it's shit that you gonna do that I ain't gonna do, Sean.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
You gonna dive into the information and get the information. You gotta let somebody else worry about the production. You feel me?
Yeah, true.
Like
true.
You can't do everything. You know what I mean? You can't do everything. Yo, if I got 85% of my brain power trying to get the information, then nigga, you use 85 of your brain power to make the shit look good when I, you know what I mean, give the information. That's how you gotta do the shit.
Facts. I see. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Sheffrin over there being the one-man tech team over on Sula Killer.
Right. So look, and that's the issue. By the time I figure out how to work everything, I don't got no energy to talk, and you know what I mean? I done spent my whole day while Unc and them reading information. I done spent my whole day watching YouTube videos and trying to figure out how to make shit work and look decent. You know what I
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the but Kofi be on it, so you know he know how to walk and chew gum at the same time. You know, so all right, yeah, I might go live. I'm gonna try to put something together.
Yeah, that's what's up. What up, Unc? You back? We ran you off with a biology question.
He on his way to a party.
Something.
He done went and jumped in the car.
And ain't saying nothing. Froze like a mug. Look at him. Let's blow him up. look at him. He finna try to rejoin again, yo. Look. He in here twice.
There you go.
I'm in there twice. Man, I tried to cut the stupid shit. Can't
Oh,
stand
he on
straight,
his way to
dog.
McDonald's.
No, I ain't on damn McDonald's.
Don't run up on Inky, man.
Right.
Yeah, don't find Inky in McDonald's.
Nah, I fucks with McDonald's. Yo. I fuck with the Big Mac, no meat, all day.
Big Mac, no
Unbeatable.
meat.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
sick.
What's on it?
Salad
Everything
dressing.
but the meat.
Salad dressing, lettuce, tomato, onion.
Onion. Yep. Bang.
On a sesame
Hard.
seed bun.
On the sesame seed bun, that should be good, yo.
You telling them to slice it in half?
No, I don't do all that. When the bread is hot, though, that should be right, yo.
On some hot bread?
Yeah. Yeah, it be toasted. If you get it right, if you do it right, you know what I'm saying?
I ain't never had that, Unc. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I would try that.
But I ain't never heard of it.
You gonna say, y'all gonna say, damn, yo, that's wild.
I don't go to
You gonna
McDonald's
think
though,
you
Unc. I don't even, you know what I mean? I don't even pull in, I don't even look at McDonald's. I just keep driving. Burger King too.
You gotta have escape meals, yo. You know, Burger King got the Impossible Burger. They been had the vegan burger for the last 5 years. They always had a vegan burger. So I used to always get the, the Whopper with the vegan burger. Bang it.
I tried it when I was in Miami. I ain't like it.
Oh, they got the Impossible
But
Whopper?
you saying they got the Impossible? Yeah, I didn't like the Impossible Whopper. It ain't with the Impossible meat.
Yes, it is. You ain't know that?
TGI Friday got a banging Impossible Burger. You put the Jack Daniels sauce on that joker, it's fire.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
TGI
So
Friday.
you ain't like the one at Burger King though. So you ain't like the one at Burger King, huh?
Nah, I guess the way it was dressed up when I had it, when it first ran out, I ain't like it.
Oh man, you gotta tell them to cook it. Tell them to cook it extra long. Shit be banging.
This dude got instructions for drive-through.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all be up
I mean, I eat that
fake
shit. I don't eat no burgers and shit. So, I don't
How
eat no
pseudo
burgers.
was that? Y'all up here eating pseudo meat, calling that shit impossible.
You got a pseudo Mac. No meat.
I'm not eating nothing like that. That type of stuff causes cancer.
That boy crazy.
Nah.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
Yo, you crazy. Yo.
I'm sure of it. Impossible burger.
Mongo said that's the mystery meat they selling.
Right, that's jail food. Y'all out here ordering jail food from Burger King. Y'all crazy.
Yeah, see, I don't know if that meant like or something. The only reason I'll be eating
breaking up,
I
Zane.
don't do soy.
It's going good.
Yo, Sheffrin, what about the show on the Vikings reaching the Americas before Columbus?
I said 13.
He said 13.
Who was that? Eric Leifson?
I think that's his name. I don't know. I don't want to.
Eric Leifson did. Oh yeah, we can do that. We that'll be fire. I'm about to go pull up the articles.
Yeah, pull up the article and walk through it.
Yeah, but I heard about that years ago. They found a Norse site in Canada that they believe it was a Norse site because of how the way the structure was dug into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that, the Native Americans didn't build inside of the earth like that. And they said the Norse people, when they moved across Iceland, they found similar structures. So they was thinking that maybe it was the Vikings, and so they were saying they got a tale of a bishop had wrote a tale of Eric Leifson, who had left Iceland and ventured to a place that he called Vinland, or something, and they was assuming that Vinland was North America. So is yeah. I'm gonna pull up some articles on it. Why, you saying some new articles on it?
Nah, I mean, outside of the one they published on the 20th, nah. You know, the Journal of Nature, they dropped an article published on my birthday. So, you know, that's what made me think of it. I mean, I could send it to you. Matter of fact,
Yeah. I got the Journal of Nature too, so
oh,
I'm
okay.
about to look that up. Yeah, we definitely can read through that. I'm about to scan it.
What y'all talking about?
The Vikings reaching the America before Columbus and them.
Oh yeah. It sure fuck did, didn't it?
Yep. I sent it to you.
All right, I got it.
Before the Africans too.
No, they ain't get here before us. What is you talking about?
They definitely beat the Africans here. They definitely did.
But you know, the one thing about Africa, the west coast of Africa, people don't understand how rough that water is off the coast of West Africa. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Even the Europeans couldn't you know, get too close to the shore of West Africa because of you know, the different currents, and you know, it's not too many harbors, places that you can create harbors off of the coast of West Africa. Mm-hmm. So the Europeans will have to dock way out at sea, and the Africans will have to take their canoes and boats and navigate to get to the boats. They even, you know what I mean? So it would have been super hard for Africans with their technology at the time to even cross the Atlantic Ocean. That
killed the whole thing. That killed the whole thing, bro. At just at that point right there, it kills the whole dynamic, the whole argument. These people having these fictitious arguments about certain things, and that's the problem. Like, come on, yo. We proved that with trade. And this, remember, like, so think about Elmina, for instance. Remember, they rode to Elmina. They don't walk to Elmina. That's an island. They have to row, but they don't never go on the opposite side of the island where it's the Atlantic.
Right.
You never see the canoes on that side, bro, but you see the canoes heavy on the side facing the land going back to that, because that shoreline is light. They can tread that, right? And they can fish there too. And they can handle those. I mean, it's not heavy currents or anything like that, because that island is the other side of the island is absorbing the current flow. I don't know, man. I guess they don't think, you know what I'm saying? Even when you slow it down, they don't think about it like that.
No, they think that, you know, Africans at that time had technology. Like the Europeans, we know how big those ships was, and they couldn't get too close to mainland Africa with those boats. You know what I mean? Like they was at a technological disadvantage at that time too. You know what I mean? So, you know, them getting on land and just, you know, just the like I said, the waves and the roughness of that damn West African coast was just a problem. You know what I mean? So getting off of that in canoes and, you know, Abubakar or whoever the hell he was, like we have no
Abubakar,
we have no records of West African seafaring people at that time. Like it would have been a record of a seafaring people in West Africa at that time. Like if they could have built boats that could have went across the Atlantic, they definitely could have built boats and went up the up north up to the North Africa easier.
Right. And they would have
those
had a damn navy.
Berber and Arab people would have made mention of seafaring sub-Saharan Africans.
That's a fact.
They would have, and it would have made trade easier.
Boom! There you go. I was waiting on you to say that word right there. If you didn't say it, I was gonna say it. What about trading in the Mediterranean when it was popping?
Yeah, they would have been all in that motherfucker. You know, and look, the Romans didn't even go around that part of Africa, and we know that they had the ships because they was all in the Mediterranean. That's how they moved their armies across the North Africa and back and forth. The sea is so goddamn choppy on that coast of West Africa that they actually used to walk across the Sahara to try to penetrate into Africa. They never took their boats to try to go, you know what I mean?
Right, correct.
It was too dangerous. They decided it's safer to try to walk across the desert than to try to sail down the coast of West Africa.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Think
Like they decided to walk across the goddamn desert because going down the west coast of Africa was a goddamn death trap. So I mean,
we even just think about in the 15th century though. What you're saying, it stay right there on the boat part, right? So even when they get inland, right, when they begin to get off that, you know, they can get their boats to certain places. For instance, the Niger, the whole experiment with the Niger River. When they try to bring them big ass boats in the Niger River, they were afraid that they wouldn't be able to do certain things. So they tailor-made boats to travel the Niger River.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the Viking shit was serious. It could do both. So, but wait,
they had a smaller mast that could go upstream.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a point I want to make that most people don't deal with: infectious disease. So no matter what kind of technology you had, you wasn't crossing the ocean without understanding scabies. It wasn't happening. None of that. So when people talk about the technology, okay, that allowed Europeans to circumnavigate the globe, it wasn't the technology. It was the understanding of infectious disease. It was the understanding of a disease called scurvy that was devastating to the sailors. That's the difference between France, Britain, and Spain, with scurvy. And who could understand that first? Britain ended up understanding it based off of the clinical trials. So trying to, it's a lot of factors that when studying history that our community don't put at play. So what about old world immunity and new world immunity? Understanding of infectious disease, understanding disease on the immune system. Why is it that Europeans have old world immunity as opposed to the Native Americans having new world immunity? What is it about them that make them have new world immunity? So if these was Africans in the new world, they would have had old world immunity. It wouldn't have been a problem. They wouldn't have been devastated when they ran back across the Europeans. But let me look at this again. Let's just say, by happenstance, by some lucky stroke of the pen, that the Africans did end up over here 30,000 years ago. By the time they ran back into humanity again, right? Their immune system would have been changed to the environments in America, and they still would have had a problem with the diseases coming from the old world. So there's no way to put this together. So I mean, and we had elders amongst us, yo, that went to their grave with that shit, yo. And so when we talk about it in a manner that covers things that people wasn't even thinking about, we become the crazy dudes that promote evolution and vaccines. No, we learned about this shit so we could get the accurate history. And I think that's our task. That's what we got to be able to, like, that's the task right there. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Yep, it's too many factors. Y'all just, yeah, man, they be having channels dedicated to the buffoonery, yo. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's mainly about technology with me. You would have to show proof of the technology, right? If it was a seafaring African nation in West Africa, we would have known about it. Like they would have let, like China, right? They knew they not only do we have evidence that China, was all in the Pacific and the Indian Ocean, right? We have records of their fleets, right? That went to India and different ports and everywhere, you know what I mean? They even got into the Persian Gulf, right? And met with nations, that was off the coast of the Persian Gulf, like Iran and yeah, so if it was an African nation, a West African nation, right, we know that people on the Swahili coast had technology that could cross the Atlantic Ocean, and we know that they did trade because of the trade with like uh Arabia. They could get into the Red Sea, and they could trade, and they did a lot of trading the African animals into India and with China. So we know that those people, but we talking about West Africa, where we come from, in that Atlantic Ocean. And if it was a seafaring West African nation that could build ships that size, we would see, like China, you can go to their old shipbuilding yards, right? From the 13th century. We had, you know what I mean? You can do aerial photos, and you can tell where they moved the land to actually build docks, you know what I mean, and shipyards. Like if you go to the Dutch, they got their old shipyards where they built their, like, you will see that infrastructure. You know what I mean? We don't see that in West Africa, so it's pretty much
But
they
I think
wasn't the
that's
seafaring
because
people. There's no way
I think
around that.
they can
They wouldn't have been
sell.
able to hide that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
but
wouldn't have
that's
been able to
under like
hide
the
that.
East Africa. They can sail across the coast, whereas
Yeah.
there's no coast on the west of Africa.
And they was in it. They was already industrial people, so they definitely would have took that and went other places with it. You
Chef,
talking about people who was expanding empires and stuff. That's what the West Africans was doing at that time. So they was the same as Europeans at that time. They was taking land and territory and everything. So if they could have moved across the ocean, you know, and took land and territory, they would have did the shit.
hey,
The
Chef,
fuck?
so it's the technology and the understanding of the damn disease. Because you can have all the technology you want. It's too if you don't get past that barrier, then you done.
What
How about
barrier?
the disease barrier, where if you don't, all the cells fucking die at sea, because of scurvy.
Oh,
We
that
couldn't
ain't
have did it.
stopped the Europeans.
Shit,
What you mean?
that's,
They look.
they was done,
When did they figure out scurvy? Look at your
man.
timeline.
Yeah, they wasn't. Look at it. Pull it up. Let me show you.
No, you tell me when they figured out what was messing them up and came up with a remedy for it.
It was the scurvy was killing them. They couldn't even fight a war without 25,000 people dying, and only
Right. So
1,500 dying
when was that?
from the war. They had it all figured
When
out
did the
over time.
doctor? What year did the doctor suggest to store
That's why I
lemon
told you pull it
juice
up. I say pull it up.
to fight against scurvy?
Yeah,
That's what.
pull it up. Yeah, get the book Trick or Treat. It talks about how that's why Britain was allowed to conquer the whole motherfucking planet. That shit right
That
there, let them put their empire everywhere.
is
That was the
1497.
little thing.
When?
1497. That's like the
Mm-hmm.
14th century.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
So
was
when did the
crazy, yo.
treatment for scurvy come about?
You gotta look at the first clinical trial. They was looking at about
What do
pulling
you
it up.
eat?
I'm making what I always eat, nigga.
You in
Make
McDonald's?
my stuff. All right, there you go.
Damn, Chef, that was in 1747.
Exactly. In
So they wasn't,
1747,
but
the European had already traveled all over the world, took his people they already done settled the new world. So that didn't stop them from conquering and moving around. That was my point.
I'm gonna give you the whole picture. It wasn't moving and slick. You're giving them too much credit.
No, listen to what I'm saying. The scurvy did not stop them from moving people and crossing the Atlantic Ocean and stuff like that. They had already settled the new world.
Hold
He
on.
he said it was in the late 1700s.
First time or
Yeah,
the second
the
time?
thing is though, it's just that most of the crewmen would be half dead before they reach that coast. So it's only like a few that would even see even reach land. And I don't know how
No,
long they
yo,
live. I
y'all,
don't even know how
no,
long they
that
live
don't.
when they settle.
In 1753, Scottish naval surgeon James Lind showed that scurvy could be cured and prevented by ingestion of the juice of oranges and lemons. He proved that in 1753. Mostly all of the New World was colonized by then, by Europeans. That didn't stop them from moving around. That's my point. They just took their losses.
Yeah, guys.
Where you at?
Hiding, yo.
Yeah. He trying to say they had to wait till they figured out a cure for scurvy before they started to move around and conquer shit on the ocean. Nah, they ain't wait for that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had the ships. They had the technology for the ships to cross oceans. I don't think you can cross the ocean with no canoe.
Hell no.
Yeah,
I'll
you
tell
don't
you
got
that
no
right
three,
now.
not no
The river,
3,000
the
miles.
ocean was too deadly. The
Right.
ocean was worse then than it is now.
Especially that Atlantic. Like they definitely, if they was on the East Coast Africa, they would have had a better time in the Indian Ocean. But that goddamn Atlantic, between the Atlantic and between Africa and the Americas, that's a real tough ass ocean to cross. Like
Then
that
you
ain't
had
no,
hurricanes to deal with.
yeah, that ain't no easy. That's a rough ass sea, right? A body of water. That's the point. I mean,
And
that's
to add, like I did in the presentation, the the cross currents off the west coast of Africa were dangerous, meaning that you would start one way and the current would carry you another way in a damn circle.
Mm.
So in the 15th century, when the West Eurasians the West Eurasians developed the technology to reverse sail and be able to maneuver and get further into the Atlantic and turn their ships around and do things like that. That's when they were able to venture out and take place. There ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It's well beyond the 1300s or where you get an Albuquerque. That's 200 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, the Vikings, they took a whole nother route.
Absolutely, where the calm water was.
Mm-hmm.
When all that turmoil down there. But yeah, man, go ahead, man. Get the show set up, man. Shoot, so we can tune in. Run the crowd
I'm
up.
on it.
Yeah, so hey, look, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Shout out to everybody who purchased the book. If you haven't purchased the book, get your copy of What SARS-CoV-2 Taught Me. We about to go hop over on the pseudo killers and kick it with Sheffrin and talk a little, talk a little bit about the Vikings and this new world and the whole 9 yards. We're gonna deal with Unc and McDonald's and his Big Mac with no meat sandwich, fries, you know what I'm saying, and the whole 9 yards, and we're gonna get into all of that. So let's tune in over there. If you don't have your copy of What SARS-CoV-2 Taught Me, tune in, get it. There go the link in the chat. I do want to say Shimon Hotep to everybody else. You enjoy your evening, man, and thank you for tuning in to Science with Sean on this episode of Mossi. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Thank y'all for coming on and giving your feedback about the book and the whole 9. Hey, we'll be back on Science with Sean.
Yeah, appreciate the book.
We'll be back on Science with Sean to finish up the rest of class, and hopefully we'll be prepared for Monday. All right, peace, everybody, and make sure you go pick up your copy of Spill Masters.